Thank you for having me. First, I would like to express our joy and happiness that our prisoners, our heroes, has been released from the Israeli dungeons and jails after years of torture and imprisoning unlawfully, some of them without even a court. Today, 200 prisoners has been released. 70 of them has been sent to exile, unfortunately. We are against exiling any Palestinian people, and this is a natural right for the Palestinians to return back to their homeland. But this was what appears to be part of Hamas and Israel negotiations. Unfortunately, much of this negotiation has been a secret and has been not known for the Palestinian leadership or the Palestinian national factions and political parties. Hamas made this deal directly with Israel through, of course, the mediators who played a major influence to stop the genocide in Gaza and to make the ceasefire. But there are many terms that we are just discovering right now from Hamas and Israel, such as the one that speaks about American troops to come to Gaza. This is of imminent danger to bring external powers to our lands. This is another form of occupation. We refuse that concept. We have our own government. We have our own security. We need to discuss how to go into two-state solution, not to add more issues and problems to the entire situation. Of course, ceasefire was a great step to begin with, but Hamas has failed to incorporate in the entire Palestinian national power leadership or the parties and their partners, which made the deal not as we want exactly in terms of national issues, our key issues, which is the right of return, the two-state solution, the Jerusalem. This is our major firm national demands from Israel. There are many terms that has been ambiguous. We are not aware of this negotiations details. It has been done majorly between Hamas and Israel. It's unfortunate that the PLO and the Palestinian partners were not involved in this negotiation.
And what might these prisoner exchanges, these detainee exchanges, do for perceptions around the world by the international community, particularly the public handover of these 4 female Israeli soldiers by Hamas?
Well, the prisoners' cause has been returned to the international arena to remind everyone that the Palestinian people is imprisoned by this occupation. We now have more than around 10,000 prisoners in Israeli jails from the West Bank, and there is unknown number from Gaza. We estimate it's going to be 7,000, so we are talking in total 17,000. That rised from 10,000 in before October 7. So this is a dangerous issue in Palestine and something that is troubling us deeply in our day-to-day life. Our Palestinian prisoners deserve freedom. Political prisoners deserve to express their views and to criticize the occupation freely without being threatened of this brutal injustice and imprisonment. What it has affected in the world, I think Hamas wanted to send a message that they still have power in Gaza, and that ceremony of submitting the Israeli prisoners was a message to Israel that they still have some influence on the ground. Israel delay of or their sabotage stopping the transportation between South Gaza to the north through Netzarim because of Erbil Yehuda prisoner, I think it is a way for Israel to say that they still have the upper hand and they can stop this deal at any time if it does not suit them as they like. In our national struggle, it is important for Hamas to understand that this is not a party manner, this is a national manner. Everybody must be involved. We have to all accumulate our struggle for this country. We have to consolidate our efforts to for our country. Now the world looks at Hamas as a terrorist group. That's what they defined him, and they refuse that Hamas continue to lead Gaza. Now, for the benefit of our people, Hamas need to think deeply about returning the Palestinian Authority and the PLO to Gaza in order to save our people from any further assault or aggression of Israel, to remove this pretext from Israeli table and continue in our national unity that should achieve the geographical and political unity between Gaza and the West Bank. Of course, Hamas is a political party in Palestine. We refuse any kind of recognition of Hamas as a terrorist group. But right now, this is not a government, not the time for political parties to rule. Now, for an independent government that is accepted internationally, and let's rebuild Gaza and continue forward into stopping all the schemes to expel our people from Gaza or the West Bank. Later on, after a year or two or three, we could go for elections, and whoever wins, wins.
Now, of course, these massive political moments are happening every few days. A massive change in circumstances since the ceasefire agreement was put into place, the first phase at least. What is the effect on, and what is the action of the displaced residents who are in Gaza?
Well, right now we have 1.8 million displaced human beings are homeless, without a home. This is a catastrophe, and the international community still did not put its strength or pressure, strong pressure against Israel to stop it from any further aggression. Right now, we are hearing the Israeli far-right government and Smotrich threatening that they will re-invade Gaza after stage one, after they take their prisoners, which means they want to make this deal as to take out their hostages, then return back to their expulsion campaign against the Palestinian people. It is very dangerous, and we are in imminent danger. Right now, this is not a political, political way of thinking, a political party of thinking. We have to think as a whole, as a country, as entire parties should stand together in one Palestinian agenda, not a political party agenda. What we have in Gaza, the rebuild, the reconstruction plan is said will not be implemented as long as Hamas in power. Hamas should think deeply. The PLO, the Palestinian Authority, is the legitimate government of the Palestinian people. They have the international legitimacy and the international relations to bring safety to our people. It's time to sail our people into safety, rebuild ourselves, reorganize ourselves, and reconstruct our land. Then together, we could think in one strategy, in one political and national strategy to move forward on how could we end this occupation and establish our state.
And let's talk a little bit about the humanitarian situation on the ground. Are things improving with trucks getting through Rafah? Is the aid getting to where it needs to go to?
Well, there's some aid that is reaching the people. The situation, humanitarian situation, is still dangerous. A lot of people are suffering, are in need of more care, are in need of medical care. There is many missing components in Gaza that need to be rebuilt and reinstalled. The health system is at its worst now, without the equipment, the medicines it needs. Still, right now, some entered, but still needs more and much more to revive and to be able to serve the people. The aid is said to have reached some parts of Gaza, but many parts still haven't received any aid, such as in the north or in many parts in Gaza and in Khan Yunis. We have to organize this. The Hamas need to step up and to organize the food and aid distribution into people, and to make sure that it's not crippled or it's distributed unfairly.
And what are the broader political and security implications of this exchange for the ceasefire agreement between Hamas and Israel?
I don't understand. Sorry, could you repeat?
What are the broader political implications Are we reaching? Are things improving? Are things getting better? Is it still a very fragile ceasefire agreement?
It's really fragile. When Trump, the president of the United States, says, I'm not sure that Israel is going to stop attacking Hamas or not re-evoke the war in the stage two, that means there's something fishy on the ground. Israel has stated in many occasions that they will not stop the war unless they receive a full submission from Hamas. And they have shifted the war into the West Bank now in their extermination campaign and expanding their colonization into the entire Palestinian grounds. Israel is trying to use this war to achieve their colonial ambitions that they always have dreamt of since 1948. The American administration did play a good role in stopping the war in Gaza and achieving ceasefire, but we are not very confident that they will continue their role in maintaining that ceasefire and developing that ceasefire into a peaceful and a comprehensive political solution that would end with a two-state solution. As long as this occupation exists, there are going to always be havoc, chaos, and violence. We really need to have some guarantees from the international world that the Israeli occupation is unaccepted and the genocide has to stop immediately, forever, and never be repeated. And the Palestinian people need an international protection. We must prevent such atrocities to take place again in the future.
And what does the inclusion of life sentenced Palestinian detainees signify? Is it significant?
Of course, it's significant. Those people sacrificed most of their lives for this cause. They have spent their most years in jails and struggling for Palestine. Their release today is a joy. We are proud of them. They are a pride of Palestine. It's unfortunate they will be sent to exile. We hope that they will be able to return. We haven't heard any information from Hamas if there's some sort of understanding with Israel that they could return in the future. We look forward that Hamas could explain this part from their side and to make more pressure on Israel to do that. Hamas, unfortunately, has isolated Gaza from the rest of the Palestinian cities or the entire Palestinian state. When they negotiated for only prisoner swap and issues in Gaza, that weakened their proposition in this negotiation. If they have involved the PLO, who are experienced in their negotiation with Israel and is well aware of Israeli methods, and they have the cards in their hands to pressure Israel more. When we attach this war to the cause of Jerusalem, to the cause of right of return, and to the cause of the Palestinian state on 1967 borders, that would give us more power and a stronger voice to speak in the international arena against Israel. But unfortunately, Hamas decided to make it a political party negotiation, not a national unity negotiation.
And it seems that we've moved from one military operation to another. As far as you know, what's the latest situation on the ground in Jenin?
The occupation is still in his full aggression against people, in his cruel and brutal crimes against our civilians. Yesterday, they killed two Palestinians in Mithalon, a village in Jenin, by an air missile strike. And this is a major violation and development in their hostility in the West Bank. They are burning houses. They are destroying streets. They are shooting at civilians. They are shooting at people, at civil people in their cars while they are driving. This is absolute madness. Israel is influenced by this ultra-right government, this religious Zionist ideology that sees the Palestinians as less a human being than other people around the world and a less a human being than the Jewish people. Now is a major escalation taking place in the West Bank. Israel ambitions, I believe, is to push the Palestinian away from their villages, from their outskirts residents, in order to annex Area C in the West Bank. Area C is around 60% of the West Bank. It is the area where is under control and administration of Israel, but left by Palestinians. So what they are trying to do is to annex the settlements and acquire more land surrounding the settlements. This is a major threat, a major violation. This is a straight dagger in the heart of the two-state solution, and it is unlawful and is not going to drive us anywhere. This will not stop the fact that this is an occupation and this is a Palestinian territory, and when there is a solution, they have to withdraw.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us here on Q News. That was Ahmed Fatouh, the spokesperson of the Palestinian National Liberation Movement, Fatah. Thank you very much for being here